Hi there, I have to go find my tripod, but welcome to another episode of Galaxy Gardens. My name's Chrissy. Today we're going to be trying the fire cider that we started a few weeks ago and doing the long-awaited tomato review. We're going to go through all of our packets one by one, and I'm going to give you my recommendations based on growth habits and flavor and, resistance to pests and other stuff. So let me go find that and let's get started. Here we have our fire cider. It's going through a coffee filter right now. We filtered it once through a colander to get the big chunks out, and now we're doing it again with the coffee filter to get some fine sediment. This should take a little bit. I've been helping it along by using a spoon, but we should end up with about a quart of fire cider, which already smells super good and has this really nice yellow color to it. So I'm excited to try it out. Once this is all set, we'll come back and do the taste test. You can see here, it does have a very nice color to it. And up here, just to help it along, to move some of the sediment out of the way, you can just use a spoon. I'm sure there's a better system for this, but it's only a quart of liquid. This should only take about another 10 minutes. And this is what we started with, which you can tell is definitely has some more sediment in there, so we want to get some of that out. And this will be very handy to have on hand. By the way, if you're filtering stuff at home and you're going to use a spoon instead of like a silicone spatula to do this, just be careful because you can tear the coffee filter. This one's fine, just because I'm very gently going through. We have just about the full jar done. So it's almost time for a taste test. Here is the last of the sludge going in. I've been reading and seeing videos where people will take your excess that you're filtering out for your fire cider and save it for stock. Like you can freeze it or just turn it into stock. We decided not to because never had fire cider before, so I don't even know if I'll like it. So anything extra right now, it's just gonna go into compost. But maybe next time if we like it, we'll save it. Can I share a happy coincidence, which I don't really believe in coincidences, but I was just about to write the date for the fire cider on here and put it away, but check this out. I just grabbed a random lid out of the cupboard, but today is January 14th of 2023, and the lid I'm using is from an old jar of water glassed eggs, which remove a spoon rinse before use because you want to wash any of that hydrated lime off. But I guess I made that jar of water glassed eggs on January 14th of 2022. So all I have to do is put fire cider and change the date for the year. I thought that was pretty funny. So we have our fire cider. It's ready to go. It's all been filtered. You can see there's a little bit of sediment at the bottom that still made it through the coffee filter. Totally fine. We're gonna give it a go. Let's see, I've never had this before, but I'm open to trying stuff twice, so let's see. It has a very pleasant smell. It has, it's not too heavy with the horseradish smell that I thought it would. There's some turmeric in here, so let's give this a go. What do you think? Let's see. Can you scoop, please? Go. Can't. Whoa. Wow. That is potent. That is so tasty. I was a little bit nervous because we don't really eat horseradish, but I don't even remember what's in here. There's pepper, ginger, turmeric, black pepper, I think garlic, onion, apple cider vinegar. Wow. Oh my God. so good. Wow, I want to try some more, but I don't want to do any like, you know, I don't want to double dip with this spoon. Wow, that's so good. I could definitely see myself putting this in some tea, salad dressing, just taking like a spoonful of it in the morning. It tastes really good. It's like, oh man, it's got that like vinegary with a little bit of spice to it kind of flavor. It doesn't taste anything like it smells like. It actually smells like almost mustardy. I don't remember if I put mustard in it. I might have. You can go ahead and take a look at our video. I think it was like 2 channel videos ago where I was talking about our favorite seed companies that we like to use while I was making this. But geez, this is really good. Make fire cider at home, okay? This is delicious. Now, I was a little bit concerned because I was reading, you know, online with all these recipes where it's like, if you don't like the flavor, when it's done, you know, you can sweeten it up with some honey. This doesn't need it. It's like sweet and spicy and savory at the same time. This is really good. I had no idea what this is gonna taste like. Wow, it is potent. It is potent. I think if I was gonna use this for like a salad dressing, I'd probably cut it maybe with just like some oil or maybe something else that we have. This is delicious. It's really good. Just let me open this again. Let me just get a whiff here. It like smells, it smells kind of like the raw ingredients that we put in. And like something that's kind of standing out is we did put some onion in it. This is great. I'm making this again. This is gonna be good. You know, the way I've been reading that people use this is have a little bit every day. It just does like an immunity booster, or if you start feeling yourself maybe starting to come down with a cold, having like, I don't know, like a tablespoon of this a day. This is phenomenal. I'm gonna make this again. I wish I started making it sooner. And this is pretty cool because I made that homemade apple cider vinegar and I didn't know if it would be like strong enough, but this is a very standout like apple cider vinegar flavor to it. It's very pleasing. Now it's yellow, right? It almost looks like really good chicken stock. Wow, I'm saving this. Now that it's done, so when we had it in the cabinet, actually behind me, we actually have, I can't open it right now, but I have another round of apple cider vinegar going from the leftover, I guess you could call it like sludge at the bottom of the apple cider vinegar. That actually tastes pretty good too, but I'm gonna let it go for another week. Yeah, this came out super good. So we started with a 2-quart container and we filled it up pretty much all the way with everything that we were gonna use for it. And then we topped it off with apple cider vinegar. So it did end up being about a quart of apple cider vinegar in here. And we were just stirring it up once a day. Now about, I don't know, maybe like 3-4 days ago, I noticed that it was really clearing up. The liquid was getting pretty clear in between me stirring up, whereas the last few weeks it stayed pretty murky. So I was like, maybe it's time, and I reviewed our recipes and they recommended about a month. So I figured, you know, let's go ahead and filter everything out, and I'm really glad I did because this tastes so good. It's really strong. I almost want to use it like a marinade, but I don't want to waste it. So I think what I'm gonna do, just because it's cold and flu season, is I'm just gonna start taking a little bit of this every day. It doesn't hurt, I'm not an expert on any, home like holistic stuff, but whether or not it does what people says it does, it tastes delicious. So it doesn't hurt to try some extra stuff. Highly recommend, highly recommend. If you make this at home, go ahead and check out my previous video for it. For, you know, your own recipe, there's recipes online. This is delicious. So 10/10, love it. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put this away, and then I wanna come back because I promised you a tomato review video. So I have to go grab my packets, and I'm gonna talk about tomatoes that we've grown before that we really like, and other ones that I don't think we're gonna grow again. So let me go do that. We'll be right back, and we'll be right back here. Welcome back. I have all of our tomato packets here, and I'm gonna go ahead and go through the ones that we've grown already before we get to the new ones. So let's see here. So we have Black Beauty. Let's start with that. We'll just go one by one and we'll get through this. Black Beauty tastes phenomenal, really cool tomato. As it is in the sunlight, the red skin on the outside gets really blushed with a dark like black color. Really cool looking. The tomatoes themselves are about medium sized from what we grew last year. They taste really good. My only thing is I don't know how well they are with growing in our climate because we didn't get that many of them. And I'm not opposed to growing it again. It did taste good, but if we're thinking of maximizing our personal production on our property, we might go with something else. But if you want a cool tomato to try, these are super good. Black on the outside, red on the inside. Next up is Purple Russian tomato. This, I think, tastes better than a San Marzano, and it's really good for sauces. You get a soft, like purplish green blushing on the shoulders of it. The inside is a little bit darker. Really overall, I think one of the best tasting tomatoes that we've grown. Relatively prolific. It's somewhere between, you know, as you know, productive as a San Marzano and like a cherry tomato, but they're big. I mean, we had ones that were like the size of like a potato almost, and they're supposed to generally be a little bit smaller. Definitely growing this again next year. Roma, I think we grew Romas this year. They're good. They got a little bit more coming in towards the end of the season. They tasted good. I did find the bed we grew them in, the nutrient ratios in it, I don't think were like where we want them at. So we did have a lot of blossom end rot on these. But the ones that we got, like, they're good. They just taste like, you know, regular tomato. What is this? Big Rainbow. That was one we were gifted and I saved the seeds from. Really big slicer. And it's beautiful. It's like pink and yellow, even when you cut through it. If you want a nice slicer tomato, Big Rainbow. The flavor, it's good. It's not really strong, but it's a sweeter tomato, not too acidic. Berkeley tie-dye, not growing this again. It did horrible for us. We grew 2 plants of it this year, and it didn't really taste that good, and it was susceptible to a lot of like pest and like fungal issues. And that could just be because it doesn't like growing in New England, but we're not growing this again. It did look cool, but I was like, it's not worth it. Great White tomato, also another one, didn't really produce for us. The tomatoes we did get were about like a mid-size tomato. They weren't bad, they were weird though. So they weren't white, they turned yellow. And I guess I'll just say it. It tasted like sweet corn. This tomato tastes like sweet corn. Great White tomato. I've never had that happen before. I don't think it's supposed to because I just got some seed booklets in the mail, and that is not how they describe this tomato. Great white. It's a good filler tomato. I'm gonna say don't knock it till you try it. But for what we're doing, I don't know if we'll grow this again. I want to say no because it did taste pretty good. It was just weird. Orange persimmon tomato, actually the best orange tomato we've ever had. I've had other orange tomatoes that just don't taste like anything, and we'll get to those. Orange persimmon, very flavorful. It's like a small to medium size at best. Not super productive, but the tomatoes we did get, absolutely beautiful, deep orange color. Really, really tasty. Jersey Devil, we're definitely growing that again. It's like a giant Roma tomato, and it comes to this really cool point at the bottom. It almost looks like a big Marconi pepper. Really tasty. I'm gonna grow quite a few plants of these this year if we have the room. And this is gonna be like my main red tomato I want. Like really, I don't know what I don't know what size gauge I'm trying to use here, but pretty big. It's like maybe as long as a quart jar for the better ones, and you know, you get smaller ones. But really good. Castelluto Genovese. This one was really cool. I thought it was gonna be bigger. They're tiny, really tiny red tomatoes. Hello, I need you to go. Yeah. Really good red tomatoes when you cut it across. They're beautiful. They taste really good. I wish they were bigger. So we did get like a big flush of them come through, and then, you know, like a few here and there by the end of the season. I would grow it again. I thought it was gonna be like a big slicer from the pictures on the packet, but ended up being little teeny tiny tomatoes. Hello, I need you. Go over there, thank you. Champagne bubbles, delicious, small tomato. It's not quite as small as a cherry, but it's on the smaller end. I'd say I would compare it to a garden peach size. Really tasty. Homestead tomato we grew a couple years ago. They're okay. It's just a red tomato. San Marzano. I mean, if you've gotten them from the store, that's what it tastes like. You know, a bit acidic, good for, you know, paste or sauce. Nothing to write home about. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm Italian. I love San Marzano tomatoes, but what are you gonna do? Garden peach. I grew this for like several years in a row. I love it. They do look like tiny little peaches. They get maybe as big as well, the smaller ones are about the size of a golf ball, but they'll get a little bit bigger. Big fan. We might bring this back next year. Really tasty, great for salads. You can see I have a bunch of seed packets of it. Mr. Stripey tomato, not growing this again. I remember, was it 2020? Yeah, 2020 we grew this. The vines got everywhere, and we honestly didn't get that many of them. Were they tasty? Yes, they're good slicers, but not big producers because they get like really, really big. Black Krim, delicious, medium-sized tomato. Black Krim that gets like kind of purpley on the inside and outside. Really tasty, highly recommend. Orange accordion disappointed me. I was trying to get this for several years and it was always sold out. Finally got it for last year. Beautiful tomato. It does like, it's very like nice to look at. Really great uniform color. This is a tomato you're gonna wanna grow if you need filler for stuff. Ours didn't really taste like anything, but it was a nice filler for sauces or salsa because it's got a nice firm texture to it. Almost as firm as a bell pepper, but it didn't really taste like anything. So if you just want some color, something that can like absorb flavors from other stuff, this one's for you. It did grow pretty good. We got it pretty consistently throughout the season. I'm not gonna grow it again. Same thing, Orange Jubilee. Not quite as cool as the Orange Accordion, but also it doesn't really taste like anything, and I thought it was kind of spongy, so not a fan. softball-sized tomato. These are Sicilian saucers, and this is what I called it before I went online and figured out what it was. I just had some seeds from my grandmother from Sicily that she's been growing for years, and it's like a big ball. It literally looks like a giant red softball. Really like nice balance of sweet and acidic. Huge, great slicer, really prolific. Sicilian saucers, grill them. Mexican midget tomato is also, they call it, what do they call it? Oh God. It's like something that grows down south, like along the sides of like rivers and stuff. They almost call it like a weedy tomato. The actual tomatoes are really teeny tiny, like the size of marbles. They taste okay. I don't think they're any sweeter or not than other stuff, but it's a cool tiny plant. Yellow plum tomato. You'll see this in the store. You know, it's like a nice little cherry tomato size for salads. Really tasty, a little acidic, and they're yellow. Porch Princess tomato is a nice like pink blush red on the inside kind of tomato, and they're shorter. So they're good if you want to grow it in a container on your porch. Sicilian saucer. Cherokee purple, love these. You always get a lot of them when they come in. Another one of those like purpley on the inside heirlooms. Cannot recommend this enough if you're thinking of tomatoes to grow this year. Put this on your list. Oh yes, the Black Seaman. I've tried a lot of tomatoes over the years. This is hands down my favorite tomato. It has deep olive tones on the inside. The outside has this beautiful olive blushing near the top. They're good, like medium-sized to large tomatoes. I like them for sandwiches. I like them for sauce. I like them for salsa. I will use it for literally anything. They're really juicy. And I think this is the best tasting tomato that's out there. All right, so we got some new ones. We got some freebies. I did an M.I. Gardner grab bag. I got 2 of them just in case. So there's some new ones. Cream of sausage. We'll give it a go. Haven't tried it yet. I'm not going to do the yellow stuffer because I think this is going to be like an orange accordion situation there. You can see it's open, almost like a bell pepper on the inside. Trophy tomato. Generic red one, probably good. Green grape, I don't know, we might not do that. White cherry, I hear these are good. I don't know if we'll do it because I'm focusing on larger ones. Green zebra kind of looks like the Berkeley tie-dye. I'm not gonna try it next year, or this year rather, we're in 2023. Okay, let's spin this around. Floridade. Looks like a smaller, what does this say? Does very well in hot temperatures. It's a determinate tomato. Good for sauce, paste, or sauteing. So just, you know, run-of-the-mill red. Rutgers tomato, might try this. I've heard good things about it. Brandywine red, also heard really good things about this tomato. This year we really wanted to try a couple reds, couple blacks, whites, oranges, greens, paste tomatoes, and kind of like cherry tomatoes this year, 2022 year. And it was cool. It was nice to try all new ones. This year, I might focus more on red tomatoes. Crimson Sprinter, I've had this packet for a couple years. I think this is the year we're gonna give it a chance. It's supposed to be really good fresh. We could also use it in sauces. And I want some more fresh tomatoes. Mr. Stripey, like I said, we're not doing that again. Mortgage Lifter, supposed to be a nice big one. That's prolific. It says commonly weighing over 2 pounds. Might give it a go. Homestead, San Marzano. Brad's Atomic Grape. Oh my goodness. This was a stunner this year. Grow it, get the seeds, grow it, save the seeds. Oh my goodness. We had some that were like normal cherry or grape tomato size, and then we had like big ones that were like 2 inches long, really thick around. These are delicious. They almost have like a smoky flavor. They hold up really well if you can't eat them right away and you want to store them for a little bit. These are great. I cut them in half and have a whole bag of them in the freezer right now. Really good fresh, really good in salsa and in soups. 100% growing this year. It's Black Beauty. Abe Lincoln, I think we grew this year. It was okay. We got like one big flush of them, but you know, nothing too intense. The Brad's Atomic Grape, let me tell you, this was consistent the entire season. We had a lot of them. It was great. We also grew Blue Beauties this year, which get a nice like shoulder blushing of that dark like purple color. Really tasty. It did produce a little bit more than the Black Beauty, but again, we didn't really get that many of them. It might do better in a different climate than where we are in Massachusetts. This is what the orange accordion looks like. I thought it'd be better, but what are you gonna do? This is what the persimmon tomato looks like. Purple Russian was actually, they gave us these free seeds. This packet was probably like 6 years old, if not more. And I finally gave it a chance because I Googled it, because on here it said it's a smaller one, and I'm so glad I Googled it and saw a picture and tried it, because these are great. I got here, this is the Costoluto Genovese from Park Seed. Really tasty. Definitely, you know, if you want some smaller slicers or something for like bruschetta or just something really nice and fresh with like great tomato flavor, definitely do that. Berkeley tie-dye, disappointed in it. It probably does better in, you know, climates like they have over at Berkeley. Great White, did not look like the picture. It came out yellow. It looks like this until it's ripe and then it turns yellow. There's your aromas. The Jersey Devil. This picture is also misleading because they look way cooler than that. I've had some reels and some other videos I featured them in. They're cool because they're kind of like cylindrical and they go down to a point, but they look way cooler than the picture. Let's see, this is called A Delicious Tomato. Have not tried it, might do it. And then the Black Seaman tomato. So that's all our tomatoes. I think this year, definitely Brad's Atomic Grape. We're definitely doing it again. Those are awesome. Those plants stayed like a relative, maybe like 3-4 feet long vines. Very high producers. Like I was out there almost every day getting some. They're cool because they stay kind of green and they turn like this like bronze and like black color and a little bit of red in there when they're ripe. Really tasty. We're definitely doing the Jersey Devil again. So those are 2 big ones. Black Seaman, a couple other red ones, and I think we're gonna bring the Garden Peach back. So that's a tentative plan for this year. I hope this helps you out, make some tomato decisions of your own. It's so hard to know until you grow them in your climate. We're in zone 6B, depending where you are on our property. We have some zone pushing that we do. But if you were on Farmer's Almanac, we're at zone 6B in Western Massachusetts. So these are the ones that do and do not do well in our particular climate. If you're somewhere that's really, really hot, you'll find other tomatoes do better for you. We had a combination of indeterminate and determinate varieties, and we made our own little trellises for them this year. I was actually really happy with the sizes all of our vines got. They're really easy to maintain. We've had ones that get, you know, like 12 feet long before, and I'm constantly chopping them back because we can't keep up with them. The Sicilian saucer is definitely one of those that will go forever. So if you have the room, definitely, you know, do it. So, you know, although I wasn't a fan of the flavor of a lot of these, or in the case of like the Berkeley tie-dye, how well it kind of upheld to our summers here. The actual like plants themselves are very easy to keep up with. So we're gonna keep to it. I think this year, you know, we'll go back to some of the ones, you know, we've grown before and that we like, but we're still gonna be trying some new ones. I wish you the best of luck. Please review our fire cider video for some good tips of companies to get your stuff from. And if you know any other companies that I didn't mention before, please send them my way, because I love supporting all these, smaller companies if I can.
One that was a little bigger would be nice, but nope. I need a bigger rock.
Didn't even make a dent. How many you got there?
3.
You're determined. What are you trying to do?
Break the ice. Oh, damn it. It's hard to throw these big ones.
Yeah.
I give up.
All right. Thanks for joining me today. I am really happy with how our fire cider came out. And now that I kind of have an idea with our tomatoes, now that we've reviewed them again, I think I know what we're going to be growing this year. When it gets closer to seed starting, we'll give you the actual list of what we're growing this year. And yeah, so we're in the middle of winter. As of today, it's January 14th that I'm recording this. And we got some stuff to do. So I'm a little bit behind on doing this, but we're gonna be making some mushroom grow bags to grow here in the kitchen. We actually just do it in some freezer gallon bags. So I'll show you my process, because we've been doing that for a couple years, and we have some other updates for you. So if you like the channel and you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. If you like the video, please like the video, show it to your friends, have them subscribe too. That helps us reach a wider audience. And we're also in the process of getting some additional off YouTube content for you, both written and other types of videos. So if you do want to support us, please feel free to send us a donation. We do accept Cash App and Venmo, and everything goes back into our property and keeping these videos going. We'll see you next time, and I hope you are enjoying your winter, or if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, hope you're enjoying your summer. Bye.